I just want to know, do you remove your bra when you're on the show? I'm Hazelle.
I'm Germaine, and today we are here for Spillit, where we're going to answer some tough questions about being a radio DJ in Singapore.
I've been a radio DJ for about 3.5 years, close to 4 years now. I actually took part in the radio DJ competition to try and become an actress. But 2 years in this industry, I realized that actually hosting is a very, very challenging role that I would like to take up for the rest of my life.
I started off as a producer actually with Martins in the morning over at Class 95, and then I moved over to 987 and now I'm doing the night show, yes.
So which radio station is better?
Hey! Started already, eh?
The team will definitely give us very difficult questions to answer.
We might be on the brink of losing our jobs, so we gotta be very careful here.
So please watch this episode, okay?
Yeah, it might be the last you see of us.
So to start this game, each player will draw 5 question cards from the deck. Players will then take turns choosing a question card from their hand to ask the opponent.
Players will also be given 3 action cards each where they can skip, swap, switch questions at any point of time. For a skip, you get to skip the question. For a swap, you ditch the question and answer the next card from the deck. For a switch, you get your opponent to answer instead. I'll start first. Okay, here's a question for Hazelle. So, which part of your job do you love and hate the most?
Honestly, I really love my job. I'm not saying this because I'm on this show. I love that I get to host, I get to show myself, I get to perform, I get to act sometimes. What do I hate about my job? Oh, the fact that I can't eat as much as I love to.
Huh?
Because I have to maintain the figure.
Huh?
Because if not, I look very plump on screen, right?
Oh, I do already lah, so it's okay.
Yeah. Have you ever hung up on a caller because he or she was annoying?
Yes. Because for radio, right, we cannot really see the caller's face.
Exactly.
And I think the more seasoned callers would know that on radio, you got to be very expressive with your voice. But I think, some people, they had a long day, they're very tired from work, and when they, call in to try and play a game, usually they have no energy left. I'll just tell them like, oh, I think maybe you're not feeling too well today. If they don't win the game, then we'll just, pick another caller.
But wouldn't it be so sad? They waited so long to call in, and when they finally managed to, and then you're like, okay, thanks, bye.
I try not to make them so sad. Maybe I play a song that they love. Have you ever said something on air that you regretted?
Yes, I have. And I remember it to this very day. It was a Sunday afternoon, and I went on air with positive vibes, energy. And I went like, 是一个美好的星期天，真的可以在家睡一个大懒觉。
Oh.
And immediately after that, I was like, what did I just say? But theoretically, it makes sense. It is definitely correct Chinese, but once string together that way, I felt a bit guilty after that. What is a topic that you wish to talk on air, but couldn't because of censorship?
Wow! Super nan. Okay, I would love to talk more about female health. Because I think that, going through school and everything, right, we didn't really learn that much about female reproductive health, female health in general.
But why can't you talk about that?
I think that because censorship works in a very interesting way, so some things that you might want to mention that's also in that umbrella, if you open a can of worms, right, you'll get a lot of different kinds of things that you have to answer. And those might not be, I guess, censor-friendly. What would you do if you needed to cough, hiccup, or sneeze on air?
That happens to me all the time!
Right!
So say like the mic is here, right? And then I have what we call the music bed, right? I would push up the music bed, I would turn around and then come back. Or I would even say like, I just burped and the breath smells like the ramen I just ate, They love it lah, really, they love it. Germaine, do you think radio is dying?
Oh, what a big question. Actually, right, I have been an avid kind of like on the camp that radio is not dying. In fact, I think radio will be the last to die. Radio is something that accompanies people every single day. It is part of their lives. It is like, for example, when you wake up, right? And it's like, oh, when I hear this segment on the radio, I should be out of my house on the way to work. They use it as a time marker.
It's an important form of communication, right?
Exactly.
In times of war, we are still expected to go on air because we have to bring the latest news to the people right at home. And in times of war, what if we don't have internet connection? We can still at least connect to the FM, the traditional style radio.
If I'm not a radio DJ, I would be a blank.
I would be a actress, I would be a YouTuber, air stewardess, Chinese teacher.
I vote Chinese teacher. I think you should. I think that
I
would
will help Singapore a lot, right?
Yes! What was the weirdest thing you've done to protect your voice?
I would love to answer that, but I'm gonna make Germaine answer this instead.
Huh?
I'm gonna use this. The switch card.
When I go to concerts, I cannot scream. If I am working the next day, I can't scream. Go to a festival, ultra, I'm like, can't scream. True or false?
Okay.
I get sick of music sometimes.
Okay, think of it from my point of view. I'm a radio DJ, 4 hours in the studio, 4 hours of continuous music. Would you still want to listen to music on your way home?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I would totally love to soak in a moment of silence. You know what I mean?
Shall we do that now?
That was great!
Yeah.
Is that great?
I feel rejuvenated.
It is so easy to be a DJ. All you do is chit-chat all day.
False. Obviously
Exactly,
false. Obviously false. I mean,
false, right?
if you guys think that is true, honestly, as DJs, I do get a lot of those comments lah. I mean, from relatives, from
Yeah.
friends, you know, people that don't really understand the job. These days with social media, radio
Exactly.
DJs have to be personalities as well. You've got to, you know, keep up with the engagement on air, off air. You've got so many meetings, brainstormings. You've got to do production.
Exactly, show prep.
Show prep. We are basically audio engineers in a sense as well, because you're doing a lot of production for your show and all
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Yeah.
All the things we do involves chit-chatting, that's for sure.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but definitely it's not easy.
What was the weirdest request you received from a fan on air?
On air.
Yeah.
On Instagram, can or not? I have had a comment where
Yeah.
someone asked if I could sell him my worn socks or panties for $1.
For $1?
For $1.
It's worth more than that lah.
Exactly, right? I mean, it's worn, right? Have you ever faked a call pretending to have a listener?
I don't think I have faked a call, but I mean, I have definitely, you know, gotten friends' helps lah. Like, especially when you're starting with a new show, you've got a new segment, right? Sometimes you just need a little bit of, what do you call, like momentum.
Right.
Yeah, so sometimes you get your friends to call in, to weigh in on the topic. Yeah, that's why now I have no more friends.
Oh, no.
No, but they give me their real
Right,
opinions.
right,
Yeah,
right.
but I have no more friends because they don't want to help me anymore. If you have to pick one, who do you think is unfit to be a DJ?
Cannot lah, this kind of how to answer. This kind of question, how to answer.
放下去, okay. Alright, so this one is gone. True or false? True or false?
Okay.
True or false?
Okay.
Being a DJ won't make you rich.
False. Because I am very rich. No, kidding lah. Being a DJ won't make you rich. No, because I think I am very rich in terms of emotions.
Oh!
She
she swerves, yeah. She was like, ooh.
True false question. I feel that I should be on my best behavior all the time because I'm a Mediacorp personality.
Wow! Well, they're really not joking when they said spillit. I don't think it's because I'm a Mediacorp personality that I feel that way, but I think it's because I'm a radio DJ on a station that a lot of young kids listen to. So yeah, they're very impressionable. Of course, you know, like we have fun and all that. Like I'm probably not the most wholesome person, but I don't show that side of me on air lah, of course lah. It's not professional. We try not to do naughty things.
Unless it's just me and Germaine.
How do you cope when you're having a bad day but you still have to go on air?
I think I was having a quarrel with my brother that day. I was so affected, but I had to still come for my radio show, right? And prior to this radio show, I was crying and like telling my co-host about my day at home, and then she gave me a hug. So 1 minute I was sobbing, the next minute I was like, 晚上好，这里是夜雪森森，夜夜不打烊，我是尹双。And then I had to smile and pretend that nothing happened, you know.
I dare say that at least 90% of all radio DJs have probably had a mental breakdown before they went on air.
Of course.
Of course.
Definitely.
It happens all the time.
Our mics are gross. True or false?
True.
Really? You
Our
think
mics
so?
are so gross. At one point of time, we didn't have individual mic socks, which is like the thing on the mic,
Right.
But now because of COVID and everything,
yeah,
everyone
yeah.
has been assigned one. Before that, those mic socks would get a little moldy. Like you can see white mold on the mic sock. Yeah. So it was very disgusting. But usually, I think no one really thinks about it until this whole COVID thing came about. Then we were like, okay, germs are in the air. We
Right.
have to be careful.
Right.
What are some things that radio DJs do in the studio that they don't want their listeners to know?
Pick your nose lah, what else? Just kidding, guys. I just want to know, do you remove your bra when you're on the show? Do you do that?
No, but it sounds like she does.
Sometimes
I
if I'm
guess.
filming, right, and I'm wearing like something sleeveless, so I have to be in my strapless bra, right?
Yeah.
And you know strapless bras, they usually are very tight.
Uncomfortable.
And you just get very uncomfortable. I would just remove it, even if I have a co-host. Female co-host.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she's very used to me, like, just being at home in the studio, and then she will keep looking like at my chest level, and I'll say, stop looking. Have you experienced a ghostly encounter during a night shift?
The story is that we are now at our new campus, which is at 1 North.
Right?
Very beautiful, very new. I don't think it was built on a cemetery. But previously at Caldecott,
Yeah. Sharon, her name.
Huh?
The name of
The
our
ghost?
friendly ghost.
Yeah, you guys can go and Google. Basically, there is an article online. There's a photo there. There's a headless ghost in the back of the picture. I think I've made it when blank.
Actually, one of my biggest role models in this industry is your fellow job, Sonia. I think she's amazing. She is so good at everything that she does. Ultimately, my goal is also to get my own place, I want to be able to do my own business, something that I love. I think she has done that. And if one day I can achieve all of those, then I think I may consider myself to have made it. Okay, true or false? I speak like this all the time.
False.
Right.
False. I tell you, I have an alien somewhere inside of me that is just with.
Can you just answer this question with your alien voice?
哎，你为什么这样子啊？哎，can you don't be like that or not? Very irritating leh.
Yo!
Yeah, can you please just answer this question? Looks are important in this industry.
I'm sorry to say it, but I think it is true. I think, if I didn't remember wrongly, the year when I joined the radio competition, 2016, they made us fill up a form, right, with particulars and stuff. And there was one blank that wrote number of followers on your Instagram.
The same thing.
Right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
so
yes.
it actually goes to show that they care about your looks. Because if you look good, then obviously your followers will be more, right?
I guess.
So I think they have made it quite clear that it is like,
Let's
right?
put it this way. Radio is a very, very small industry. I can bet you that our jobs now, at least 30 to 50 people are waiting to take our jobs. We have so many people in line, right?
Right.
They are gonna pick the creme de la creme, you know what I mean? Like not just a good voice, but good looks, good taste, good personality, good charisma, good humor. Like it has to be the best of the
Yeah,
best.
exactly.
Yeah. It's
Stressful, no? True or false? Sometimes I feel like a sellout when I do an ad.
For a very long time, right, I found it very hard to reconcile the fact that we are, I guess, radio personalities, but also in a sense, like an influencer. I mean, I'm a tiny little influencer lah. I always felt like, okay, influencer is always this whole other
Right.
thing. It's a whole other thing. But then you realize, no, it's part of your industry as well. Okay, so my last card is a ask anything you want question. Have you gotten any work done?
Boobs included or not?
Should I include it?
No, I haven't. Really?
Okay,
It's
okay.
true.
Yeah.
Do I look like I have? Honestly?
Does she look like she has? No, they
No.
say no.
Me stop pretty now. Kidding. I do think that I can afford to have a sharper nose, a more pointed chin. You know, every
But
girl
do you
is
think,
like that
no,
lah,
but do you
I
think
know
that's
what I mean.
because you are in the industry, that's why you feel so?
Yes.
Or because of like social media?
Both, because I'm in the industry and because I'm on social media, I feel like I have to be prettier.
No, you're very pretty already.
Oh, thank you. No, thank you everybody. Thanks, guys.
Say.
Thanks.
Sharon.
I never thought that we could have a conversation
Yeah.
on screen like that.
It was actually very interesting to have to confront all this and because you
Exactly.
think it in your head every day,
Right,
but you
right.
don't necessarily sit down with another DJ and be like, hey, this is what happens.
Goes on in my life,
yeah,
right?
goes on in my life. So the fact that you guys forced us to sit here and talk to each other, I think we have to thank you for
Yeah,
that.
thank you so much, guys. I had so much fun, and I hope this episode brings a lot more clarity to people who are curious about our jobs and our careers. So we hope that you tune in to us 987 8 p.m. to 12 midnight.
Yes, 933, 8 p.m. to 12 midnight.
Yay! Same time!
Same person!